Hello, and welcome in to another episode of Farm to Fame. I am Kelsey Wingert. That is Peter Moylan, Peter. And that is our captain, Maddie Mass. Peter, what were you just doing?
My wife just handed me a coffee.
Love that for you. But before that, what were you doing with like a keychain?
I had a London bus. This is a London bus that are all over London, which is where I've just been with my family. I went to visit my daughter who had lived in London for about 6 months. And she left today. So we caught her right in the last week that she was there. So she got to show us all the cool things. And then obviously while we were there was a bit of news surrounding the royal family that happened. And the whole mood of the city just completely switched on a dime. And it was a surreal time to be in London.
Yeah.
It really was. It was just mental. I was just talking a little bit earlier, but I can't think of anything that I can even liken it to, because I just don't know that there's the level of love for a single person that's not like Hollywoody in this country. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a political person that stands out that everybody loves. There's not really a person that I can point to that is, I won't say universally loved, because obviously there is whatever about the royal family that is the royal family, however they became, like, this isn't a history lesson, but it was just surreal.
Yeah.
People were breaking down in tears in the middle of the street, like everywhere you looked. Every single digital advertisement was the Queen's photo and the years that she lived and the day that it was everywhere. I'd never experienced anything like it, and I don't think I ever will again, because she's, as I said to you guys earlier, I'm from Australia. We're part of the Commonwealth. We grew up respecting and loving the Queen. Like, it's just what you do. And it was just so strange. It was so strange.
At what point did you realize that you were there while it was happening? Like, before your trip came, were you like, oh shit, this might be lining up?
No clue. Absolutely no clue. So I booked my flights back in March. So we were going for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until we were literally sitting there, and I hadn't even noticed that she wasn't well. That's how much attention I've been paying to it. And then Mandy's mum texted us and said, the Queen's not doing well. And we're like, oh, really? That's terrible. And then the next day was, and I'm sure it happened overnight. The announcement came in around 6 p.m. It was almost felt timed. So I don't want to speculate, but that just, and now that I've watched 2 episodes of The Crown, I feel like I know the royal family inside and out. So I can speak to what they would have done.
Yeah, seemingly like
crazy.
Just randomly broke on Twitter that she was put under medical supervision.
Right.
And then the next day. But are you going up for the playoffs at all to HQ? Or are you?
If I'm in the playoffs, as soon as I'm done with the playoffs, I'm shooting up there. Yeah.
But you're working. Y'all are gonna do like pre and post game shows.
I would assume that it'll be just like last year. Yeah. I think that, I really hope that it goes as long as last year, because that was great. Obviously not a lot of time off, but the run was insane. And I think they're primed to, I don't know, there's some crazy things that can happen in the last couple of weeks of this season.
Yeah, this season is getting wild. Is the NL East the closest division still?
Check it out. I don't know.
Right now, as we speak, Dodgers are the only team that have locked a spot in the playoffs.
1.5, 8, 25, 3. Yeah, we're basically the only race. Us and the AL Central are the. Although the AL Central could get really interesting. There's only 5 games between Cleveland, Chicago, and Minnesota. How is Chicago still in it?
The leader of the AL Central has 74 wins.
Yeah.
It's insane.
But the Braves won the World Series with 89 last year, right?
Yeah, but they're like
I know.
The next closest team to them is 83 wins, and that's in the NL Central. Central!
Well, it's middle of the
Step
country.
it up. Step it up. I'm tired of the East and the West carrying the heavy loads. Let's get our energy up. Let's freaking talk about the Rookie of the
Dang.
Year race.
Holy shit! I feel like I'm getting.
I've been lethargic
screamed
this
at.
episode.
I love it.
I need to make some coffee. I'm tired.
Here.
We got one of these like little Nespresso machines over here. I
Just
just
go
don't-
punch a couple of shots of Nespresso in your face.
Hey, I just don't understand why the cups are so small.
This Rookie of the Year catch-up is brought to us by DraftKings. The NFL had a huge opening week. I know you were away. I don't know if you've seen any of it,
I have
but
not seen
it
any of it.
was action-packed and everything is just getting started.
Yeah.
It's time for an even bigger week 2. Touchdowns, big plays, and even bigger betting wins with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. This week, new customers can bet just $5 on any football game and get $200 in free bets instantly. Do you want more action?
Yeah.
Everyone can experience the thrill of DraftKings early win promotion. It's simple. This Sunday, bet on any NFL team to win. If your team leads by 10 at any point during the game, you get paid instantly right then and there, even if the team ends up losing. So that was big. I was looking at some of that on DraftKings this past weekend. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code JOHNBOY to get $200 in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet on any football game. That's code JOHNBOY only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Nice, Maddie.
All right. Rookie of the Year race.
It's a race. But
Speaking of the Braves.
Or is it?
Speaking of the Braves.
Yep, hit me.
The Braves going to win the NL Rookie of the Year race.
Yes, one of them is going to win it.
Peter Moylan.
Yes.
Will it be Michael Harris the second? Or will it be Spencer Strider, 16 strikeouts, 8 shutout innings, one of the best pitching performances I've ever seen in my entire life in person?
Okay. So here's what I'm going to say about this. And all awards moving forward, if asked the question. I think there should be separate awards for everyone because the categories are so different. You just cannot compare what a pitcher's doing to what a hitter's doing. I don't care if you give me the WAR numbers. I think just the body of work for someone that plays every day versus once every 5 can't be compared.
So you're taking Michael Harris.
I'm taking Michael Harris.
Okay. Michael Harris on the season. How many has he really played in like 100 and he's played in 94 games. I do not remember him being up so early.
He came up to shore up our defense, just so you know. He came up to play center field for a couple of weeks, let Adam Duvall go to left field, and we'll see what happens. Dave O'Brien, and I'm going to call you out, Dave O'Brien said on Twitter, and I actually called him out in the press room as well because of the way that he worded it. He said Michael Harris is up for his first stint in the big leagues, which for me sounded like he was saying he's not going to be here long and he's not ready. He has shut everybody up since. And there were times where I thought, okay, now he's getting found out a little bit. And then bang, he'll go 10 for 14 with, and I'm just like, okay, he's figured it out again. But it's just non-stop adjustments on the fly, minute to minute. He's just such a smart. He lives to play baseball, and you can see it.
Slashing in 2022, 311, 352, 557 with a 904 OPS. His batting average and OPS leads all rookies. He leads all NL rookies with 44 extra base hits, 18 home runs, 16 stolen bags. Dude can be a 2020 guy if he really wanted to.
Will be in the full
through
season.
94 games. Michael Harris has been phenomenal.
But that's not including the glove work, like what he did in center field now. And even for a time, I don't know, Ronald's struggling out in right field as far as getting his knee under him and all the rest of it. But when there was a period where Ronald wasn't having to try and go all out for those balls in the gap because he knew that Michael Harris was going to cover the ground that Duval, albeit a wonderful outfielder, couldn't get to.
You've told me this before.
Yeah.
Michael Harris, tall, average, short, skinny, thick.
Six. Okay, I'm not going to look it up, but it feels like 6'1", 6'2", 225. Like he's solid.
Built, yeah.
210. I'll give him 210. 225 might be a bit big.
Yeah, 225.
That's what I'm waiting.
Hardy boy. A hardy boy. Spencer Strider on the other
London
side.
For a week. Talk to me. 200 punch outs. 200 punch outs this year.
Does he really have 200 strikeouts? Did he crack opening day?
No, he's going to get to 200 strikeouts, and he started in the bullpen until we went to Arizona, which was my first road trip on the road in the booth. So I can basically claim that I turned Spencer Strider's career around.
And you did that phenomenal video with him. 10-5, 272. His third, you're kind of alluding to this. His strikeout rate is top 1% of the league, 38%. 9 quality starts in 2022, which I honestly expected to be a little bit higher.
He did not make his first start until May, I think 31st or the June 1st.
Okay.
That's 2 months into the season for those playing at home.
What is this? On September 7th, first pitcher to strike out 40-plus batters in a 4-game span since Jacob deGrom in 2021. Peter, you weren't here last week. We had Jolly Olive.
How was Jolly?
Olive, gosh.
He's amazing, isn't he?
I love Jolly Olive.
Me too.
I could talk to him about baseball all day.
He's amazing.
But something I told him on last week's episode, which, you know what, I actually think I told you about what Jose Iglesias said on the plane.
That it just hit different.
About DeGrom.
Yeah.
He compared Spencer Strider's stuff to DeGrom that day. It was
What
absolutely
did
wild.
Jolly say about that, just out of interest?
I don't remember. Maddie, do you? I think it was just like impressive.
Right.
Yeah.
But Jose's point, Jose obviously can't speak to Spencer Strider overall. He was saying that game. So it's not like he's sitting here trying to like compare Spencer Strider to
no, you can't. You
but,
definitely can't.
Most games with 12 plus strikeouts this season. Garrett Cole has 3, Spencer Strider has 3, Carlos Rodon has 3. Shohei Ohtani, what he's doing. So Spencer Strider and Michael Harris, NL. But when we switch over to the AL, there's a guy who has them both beat in WAR by a good amount.
Yeah.
And that's Julio Rodriguez. That's J-Rod. We got to see him in the home run derby, folks. We got to see Albert Pujols in the home run derby. Albert Pujols is 3 home runs away from 700. They have a 7-game
Homestead?
7 home. Yes, it's 6 days, 7 games. There's a doubleheader in there.
Okay, so I don't know he's going to get it that week, but I really think he's going to get it before the end of the year. And when's the homestand after that?
They end the season at home. It's like tough because he either has to hit 3 and 7, or they go on the road. He does it on the road, or he's like really crunching it to the last series.
Give me 1 second.
But
I gotta figure this out.
The thing about Albert is they're going to make the postseason. So even though he has 20 games left to hit 3 or however many regular season games, he has some extra games in the postseason there, which would be wild if the Cardinals hosted a postseason series and he did it in the postseason.
Do they count towards his overall numbers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked that question before.
So my 1 postseason inning is going to really add to my. Oh man. Okay. So look, we're talking. I don't want to look at.
We're all over the place. We're talking Julio Rodriguez. We're talking Albert Pujols.
I'm talking
Shohei Ohtani.
The Cardinals' schedule coming up is Brewers. He's going to have the Reds for 5. And it's the Albert Pujols bobblehead night, September 18th.
Is that home or away?
That's home. You're not going to have bobblehead night in Cincinnati for Albert Pujols. I would love that. He has dominated us so much that we did a bobblehead for him in Cincinnati uniform because we wish that he was part of our team.
Good.
That would be great. No, that could be. He's definitely hitting a home run on his bobblehead night. That's just.
Julio Rodriguez. People listening to this episode, what whiplash?
Listen, Maddie is going to make this absolutely.
This is. So for the NL, we just finished it. I think that we can say outside of Strider and Michael Harris, there's one more, Jack Sawinski, just because he has the home run numbers. in any world do you see somebody catching either of them two?
Unless he hits. I mean,
He has a
if he
1.2 WAR,
unless he gets up to like, what's Michael Harris's WAR right now?
4.5 on Baseball Reference.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
Unless
so
he
it's
unless he
Strider
hits-
and Harris.
Yeah, it's there. Hey, there's BBD. Yes, Strider and Harris is to lose, as far as I'm concerned.
Uh,
Now,
And
similar
if I'm wrong,
for
Julio Rodriguez is not even. I mean, has Quan done anything?
so this is similar
We're-
situation for the AL where Julio is by far the front runner. I want to have the conversation of anybody can get close to catching him.
Right.
can we talk about Julio?
Yeah. I love Julio.
Pete, do you know what
Yes.
he's done in his last 14 games?
I do. I'm reading it.
Well, it confuses me a little bit. Is he hitting 339 or 422?
He's hitting 339 with
Yeah.
an OBP of 422, a slug of 661, and
And an
therefore
OPS.
an OPS of 1.083. A 212 weighted
up-
runs created plus. Jeez.
That's just the last 14 games. That's
Yeah.
pretty insane.
Yeah.
That is pretty insane. And they don't look to be slowing down either, by the way. There was a wild game between the Braves.
Oh my
Sunday?
gosh, was there? Holy smokes. Yeah, that Seattle game was wild. Did Julio hit 2 home runs in that game?
Mm.
So
Julio hit 2. Michael Harris hit 2 as well,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
cool.
It was just like, it was their coming out party. I mean, call it the Rookie of the Year coming out party.
Julio Rodriguez has 50 extra base hits this season, tied with Ichiro Suzuki. Ever heard of him? In
one
2001 for fourth most extra base hits by a Seattle rookie. He hit a home run 117.2 miles per hour off the bat. Hardest hit home run by a Mariner in the StatCast era. Yeah, so on the season, 277, but 25 home runs, 24 stolen bases. Julio Rodriguez is running away with AL Rookie of the Year. Adley Rutschman, though.
If Julio steals one more base, he would become the third rookie ever to get 25 home runs, 25 stolen bases in a season. The other 2 rookies is Chris Young in 2007 and Mike Trout in 2012.
Wow.
Mike Trout's homered in 7 consecutive games.
Is it 7 now?
Yeah.
He homered every day while I was in London.
Well, they gave him the day off. He homered last night. They gave him a day off the day before that. But
still-
yeah,
still
so
considered, right?
Yeah. So he's at 7 consecutive. The major league record is 8. What would you guess Adley Rutschman's batting average is on the year?
I would be lying if I said I haven't already read it.
Okay.
I can guess. I haven't read it.
Okay.
268.
251. 10 home runs. Wow.
I was really impressed with the way that he handled the pitching staff on that game. That
The
was
brawl.
What game was that?
Blue Jays Orioles had a little brawl between
No.
that.
No.
What are you
When were
talking
they
about?
on national? When were the Orioles on national? Was that Sunday Night Baseball one night?
No idea.
That was the first time that I'd watched him catch
Mhm.
a game and control a staff, and it was impressive. So not only is he doing it with the bat, obviously, but what he does behind
He's
the dish
in
is
there
pretty
at
cool too.
WAR. According to Baseball Reference, he has a 4.4 WAR. Like we mentioned, Michael Harris 4.5, J-Rod 5.4. Adley's kind of in there. Stephen Kwan's a guy we talked about a ton at the end of the year. He's really
Yeah.
piecing together a nice season. He's sitting at 292 batting average, 369 OBP, 753 OPS. OBP is nice. He kind of had like a ton of really impressive on base streaks this year. Doesn't really strike out. K percentage is only at 9.7%. I don't think he's in there for potential Rookie of the Year talks, but hats off to Stephen Kwan. So are we officially going Julio Rodriguez and Michael Harris as our Rookies of the Year?
Lock it in.
I'm just saying we also got this right last year at around before this time, I think. So
somebody else got a little bit more right than I did.
yeah, Kelsey got the Jonathan India.
Who that was.
Love Jonathan India.
I think
Let's
a lot
run
of that
through
was based
these,
on the hair length and flowing locks, if I'm
Yeah.
honest.
Let's zoom through our top prospects of the week,
Okay.
which is brought to you by
BetterHelp. More athletes are speaking out on the importance of mental health, but you do not have to be a pro to want to be at the top of your game. Everyone needs to take care of their mental well-being, whether you're an athlete or not. Therapy is the best way to stay in peak mental shape. I thought it was cool to see an athletic point of view in Ted Lasso, if people have seen Ted Lasso, and how the therapeutic and mental side of the game really came to light in that show. And obviously it's something that's important. Yeah, fictionally help them, but that's all based on real life stuff as well. So like we're saying, stay on top of your game with BetterHelp and ensure that you're as good mentally as you can be. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option because it's convenient, accessible, affordable, and the whole thing is online. You can get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey, and you could then switch therapists at any time if there's anything that's not working out. So when you're ready to feel at the top of your mental health game, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/fame today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/fame. That'll get you 10% off your first month. Thank you, BetterHelp, our new sponsor.
Pete. You want to start?
With the rookies.
Yeah, we'll fly through these.
Okay, let me have a look. Okay, go. I just went down the bottom. Cade Marlowe. He's a left fielder, number 21 prospect in the Mariners organization in AA, currently with the Arkansas Travelers, or Arkansas, or Arkansas, whatever you want to say. He was the MILB Player of the Week in Texas. Since September 5th, in 6 games, he's 12 for 25 with a 480 average, 6 home runs, 11 RBIs, 4 walks, a 1280 OPS. Unbelievable. Well done, Cade Marlowe.
Will Brennan, outfielder for the Guardians. He's in AAA. He was drafted as a two-way player, but he made the jump from AA to AAA earlier in the summer. He had the most hits in minor league baseball last week with AAA Columbus. 16 for 31, 4 doubles, a triple, 3 RBI. Wow, 16 hits last week.
You
Good
say
job.
RBI? I would have definitely said
I don't
RBIs.
go plural there. Yeah, I'm an RBIer.
I don't even know what a noun is, so
She's
She's a
a
passionate
definitive
guy.
RBI stan. Yeah.
I wonder how CJ Hinojosa feels about RBIs. He's currently in Gwinnett with the Los Bravos Stripers. Sorry, the Gwinnett Stripers. I can't call them the Los Bravos Stripers anymore. They used to be Braves right up and down everywhere. Since September 7th, he's on a 5-game hit streak, 4-game multi-hit streak, 10 for 30 with 6 doubles, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, and another 1.226 OPS. Well done.
Anthony Venezano, left-handed pitchers in the Royals organization. He's in AA. September 6th and September 11th, he made starts versus the same team, AA Wichita.
Tough to do.
13 hits, 12 innings, 1 walk, 10 Ks, but no runs. So 12 shutout innings from Anthony. September 11th was his 8th quality start of the year. Has a really nasty slider. Yeah, just turned 25.
Cody Lawyerson? Go, Maddie. Lowry?
Oh, we're just looking at Cody Lurison here.
You just went Irish real quick.
Yeah.
He's with the Twins. He has made 2 starts. His first start on September 11th was 7 innings, no runs, 1 hit, 8 punch outs. And September 6th plus September 11th, 11 innings, no runs, 3 hits, 1 walk, 13 punch outs. So that's pretty good last 2 starts. Well done, Cody.
Andrew Abbott, left-handed pitcher, Reds number 10 prospect in 2 starts last week, 10 innings, no runs, 5 hits, 2 walks, 12 Ks. So 2 starts, 10 shutout innings, 12 strikeouts. Since he gave up no runs, he obviously gave up no home runs. And on September 6th, he threw a complete game shutout, 9 strikeouts on September 11th. Andrew Abbott. Weekly news flash. It's time to wrap this baby up.
This week's headlines.
Minor league playoffs are starting.
Oof.
And if you guys missed, this was pretty big news. Major League Baseball is
Huge.
recognizing the minor leagues unionization effort. So this was kind of like surprising that the league decided to what's the verbiage? Voluntarily recognize it. It was not expected that they would do
It
that.
wasn't required. It wasn't. It certainly
no,
wasn't.
We thought there was going to be another step to this. But so they could have a union for the minor leaguers as soon as next year. This is really cool. The pitch clock, it came out that rule is going to be enforced in the major leagues last year. We've seen it reduce game times by about half an hour in the minor leagues. 20 seconds.
There's going to be an adjustment period.
Yeah.
For some guys. Holy cow.
They're just going to have to press it really hard in spring training. This was a fun one. DJ Peterson, well, talking about my Rocks, the Albuquerque Isotopes broke their single season home run record last week, and it was done by a grand slam off of the bat of DJ Peterson, which also broke the grand slam record in the minor leagues with 13. They have 13 this year. Taylor Dollard is the first pitcher in Arkansas Travelers history to win 16 plus games in a season. And Ripken the Bat Dog continues to be a phenomenal bat dog.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that video, anytime there's a home run, the dog runs out and sits by home plate, wagging his tail, kind of just to rub it in. So that's good stuff.
Love dogs. Aussie lingo, or do you want to do London lingo?
Nah, Aussie lingo. It's both one and the same. We were just there. We were just all their criminals that got sent to Australia. So, well under.
Well under.
Mm-hmm.
Can you use it in a sentence?
I was well under.
Drunk.
Yeah, damn it.
Damn.
It's bullshit. I went to London and I'm back.
Hey, that'll wrap up this week's episode. We were all over the place. I'm feeling so lethargic, and I don't know why. I just had an off day yesterday.
Maybe that's it. You just lost the grind. You just had 2 off days in 4 days, and you're like, I'm done.
I don't know, folks. All righty, guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Peter's back from London. Farm on.
Always.
Farm often.
Ever.
We will
let us
talk
on the
more
menu.
about Rookie of the Year and be back next Wednesday. We love you. Bye.